Hi, everyone. Welcome to Join Jackie, Mondays at 10. So going live with short snippets of legal information. These videos, while live, will be saved onto the page, so you can go back and watch any of them. Lots of legal topics that we've covered, all on the videos page. So hundreds there for you to go and look at. And if any of them are relevant for you or for a friend or family member, please share them, tag them, um, use it as a resource to come back to. Today, I wanted to talk about what is a testamentary trust. So recently I spoke about what trusts are generally. And so just covering off on that, the basics of a trust is when one person, the trustee, is holding on to assets for another person, the beneficiary. So that's a very basic, very, very basic understanding of what a trust is. So what is a testamentary trust? Well, purely a testamentary trust is any trust that is set up in a will because it's testamentary. So we could have a minor's trust in a will, we could have an education trust, a special disability trust, a protective trust, a life interest, a right to reside. All of those are forms of trust. But usually when the term testamentary trust is thrown around, particularly by accountants and financial planners, they're talking about a testamentary discretionary trust. So the beauty of a testamentary discretionary trust is that instead of your beneficiaries inheriting their assets into their own name, so they get their inheritance into their bank account or whatever, they inherit it into a trust instead, and then they generally control their own trust. So you do hear of these very wealthy people in America, trust fund babies sort of things. Now, often those rich children have had a trust set up by their family while they're alive, but it's a similar sort of concept. So you put it into a trust for them. They don't have direct access to it until they get to a certain age, and then they can control it, but it's not technically theirs. So some of the benefits of doing that are their inheritance wouldn't be subject to target from a trustee in bankruptcy should they have an insolvency event. Their assets also wouldn't be in the trust, wouldn't be pooled into the family property pool if they were broke up from a de facto relationship or marriage. So when you're thinking about younger adults that might have a number of relationships before they settle down, you don't want the inheritance that they've had to be slowly whittled away in separations. It would be counted as a financial resource of theirs, but it wouldn't be something that would be split up. So there are some asset protection benefits, I guess, and then there's some tax benefits as well. So the government over time has gradually whittled down the tax benefits of family trusts generally. However, they haven't touched testamentary trusts yet. It's almost like they've forgotten about them. So testamentary trusts still have a lot of benefits in terms of your next generation. So if you set them up for your children, your children can benefit through it through their children and their grandchildren. So funds can be pulled out in the names of minor children, for example, without penalty, which there are penalties on family trusts. So if minors are taxed at marginal rates on testamentary trusts, the tax-free threshold is still about $18,000 at the moment. So $18,000 tax-free money can be pulled out per year per minor child, which can be fairly substantial to have that extra income to pay for education, to go on holidays, to put away to help with school fees and all those sorts of things. So really interesting stuff that you can do. So it is worthwhile having a look at a testamentary trust. I reckon about maybe 20 or 30% of people who do their wills think about a testamentary trust. You do need a certain level of wealth to bother with it. I would think that your beneficiary would need, 400 or 500,000 of inheritance to bother with a testamentary trust. Although, I mean, if you're really concerned about a marriage that one of your children is in, of course, less is fine. The administrative cost of running the trust is not significant. The setup cost is insignificant as well. It's just an extra tax return once it is set up. And of course, it doesn't actually even run until after you pass away because it's dormant in the will. So there you are. I hope that is a really quick sort of explanation to just make you start thinking about what the possibilities are. If you have any other questions or if there's another topic you want me to cover, please DM me through this page, or the link to our website is on the page as well. So you can click on that, go to the Meet the Team page, and all our direct email addresses are available there. Have a great week. See you next time.